We got a new article from friend of the program, Dustin Schutte, for Purdue on SI, all about Fletcher Loyer, with some interesting quotes from Loyer himself. The purpose of this article, if you go read it, which you should, and go support Dustin, all the great work he's doing, is that Fletcher Loyer is aware that he has some strides to make defensively, and he needs to get better. Now, it sounds like this was a talking point from Fletcher throughout the entire summer, but also from Matt Painter at Big Ten Media Days. And I'll read some quotes from both that Dustin put on full display in this article, but there's a lot more here beyond what we are going to read as excerpts. So go read it. It's a good read. Apparently, Fletcher Loyer told reporters back in June, quote, I'd like to be a better defender for this team. I've taken myself out of games whenever we go with defense late or we just go with a different lineup for different matchups. So being able to play 40 minutes if I have to help this team win games and help take this team to a national championship. End quote. Uh, Love that quote on its own. I'll share my thoughts in just a moment, but Fletch talking about, hey, I need to take some strides here. If I can help the team by being on the floor more, I need to. Love to hear that. Painter was talking about this at Media Day. And, obviously defense was not good for Purdue at points last year. Rim protection was non existent. And I guess at one point somebody asked Painter, hey, should Loyer be more aggressive? What does he need to do defensively to help this team? And Painter said this. I'm dying at this quote. Painter said, quote, no, he shouldn't take more chances, Painter said with a laugh. We just didn't have any rim protection last year. Obviously, we were spoiled with Zach. Can Oscar and Daniel have that kind of impact? I don't know. That's a big statement. But we feel a lot better about our interior defense than we did last year. That should help our guards. But our guards have to do a better job keeping the ball in front of them. Anytime you can keep the ball out of the paint, you're going to improve your chances of getting stops. End quote. So Payne's kind of chuckling about the idea that Fletch needs to do something different. Fletch is out here saying, I need to be better. I need to be on the floor. What do you think Fletcher Loyer needs to change defensively this year?
You're not trying to trick me at all, are you?
I never come into these with intentions to trick you.
Okay. Because if I have to be the voice of reason and the voice of truth, I don't want to be. It's not naturally how I'm built, but like I will be. Um, don't really give any certain amount of flying Fs about Fletcher Loyer's defense. Like I mean, look, I think Fletcher Loyer is what he is. And you need him to knock down shots. That's what he needs to do. And also, yes, you want him to compete on the other end, but like Fletcher is who Fletcher is. Be a solid help side defender. Don't be a total cone on defense. And that's really all you need out of him. Now, yes, it's great to hear him say that. Like I think that's something you'd want to hear him say. You want to hear your senior guy put an emphasis on that end of the floor because that's not necessarily his strength. But yeah, at the end of the day, Fletcher Loyer's out there to knock down shots, and that's what you need him to do. I don't care how many stocks he accumulates.
Right. Lawyer had another quote at the end of this that asked pointedly, like, what could you improve? He said, I'd say it's focus. It's something Coach and I talk about when we watch film together. Hasn't really been my inability to defend. There were times last year I defended really good players. Then there were times I'd get back cut or do something stupid. Just being focused. Focus on that end as much as I do on offense. I don't buy that. I don't think the problem has been focus for Fletcher Loyer defensively. I think it's been defensive
Right, I was
inability.
about to say genetics
Right.
is the issue here. It's Fletcher Loyer is one of the smarter players in college basketball. He's not like a laps guy.
Yeah, right. I've never watched Fletcher Loyer defensively and felt he's not mentally engaged or
Yeah.
aware of what's going on.
But maybe, I mean, maybe it's something we don't see and don't notice, and then that Paint's emphasizing if they see it in film and he talks about it, I guess, like to Fletcher's point.
Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too. Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to duncanmechanicalsolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion. Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like you've golfed with me before. What would you say the weakness of my golf game is?
Mm, the weakness of your golf game.
Definitely a few you could pick from, but you got anyone? I don't know where you're going to go with this, but what's my biggest golf weakness?
See, I think your short game is elite, and your irons are elite. You figured out the drive. It's probably not even like actual swinging of the club. It's probably mental.
Really?
Yeah, like I think you need that competitive edge, and I think sometimes you can check out of rounds.
That definitely happened in a couple with you this year for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Well, that kind of killed my metaphor. I was hoping you
maybe
would just
maybe
say,
putting. I think putting probably.
really? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I've had some bad putting rounds with you for sure too this round. Okay, that's fair. All right, let's just say putting's my biggest weakness.
Hmm.
I think this does kill the metaphor because focus would probably help putting. My point was going to be if you came on here and you were like, "Oh, you don't get enough flight on your shots. You don't hit your driver far enough." I would be like, "Yeah, I just got to focus more and that'll fix my driver." No, I can't drive the ball.
You,
Like
you know what this is? I actually had the perfect correlation for this. And honestly, hand up on me for not doing this sooner. This is what this is because this is a Michigan State fan thing. This is the cares thing.
they just got to care more. No,
Yeah,
they care a lot. They're just not all that good at something.
right. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, okay. So, but all that said, I actually love hearing this from Fletch, and I don't have any criticism. Like, I think he should say this. What's Fletch supposed to say? Like, come into a season, like, yeah, I am who I am. Like, we'd be killing that, right? He should come on record and be like, I need to be a better defender for this team. I want to. I just disagree if he thinks focus is what needs to be improved. It's not. I think he's always been a focused defender. I would say this if I had a criticism of one thing that Fletcher could do that would help this team defensively, and Purdue fans may not even like this, but I'm going to say it. I think he could flop less. I think Fletcher's constant focus on selling calls gets in the way of just playing defense. And I think there have been many moments that I've seen this Purdue team lose their composure a little bit because Fletcher Loyer is trying to sell something instead of just guarding. And sometimes it works. When you're good at it, it's not a bad thing to do. And Fletcher is legitimately good at taking charges and drawing calls. Sometimes he goes out of his way to sell something obnoxious and it hurts the team. So if we're really talking about paint saying we just got to stay in front, stay in front. Don't flail out of bounds when you should be staying in front. On the other side of this though is this, and I take this as a really good positive for where this Purdue team is at. Windy. Why would Fletcher be so vocal about defense?
Wait, why?
What was his quote? He said, "I'd love to play 40 minutes if that's what helps the team." Hearing a lot of guys on this Purdue team talk about, well, I want to play 40 minutes. We just heard Braden Smith say that last week.
Hmm.
We're going back to a quote from June from Fletcher about, well, I'd love to play 40 minutes if it helps the team. I'm sure TKR doesn't want Jack Benter on the floor for too long. These guys feel the heat.
They're feeling the heat from the other players.
These guys feel this team's depth coming off a year where they had none.
Mm.
And I think Fletcher Loyer, again, he's kind of the forgotten guy because we assume he's just going to have a huge role. His role isn't necessarily solidified the same way Braden and TKR's is. If Omer's good, if CJ and Jakari are actually good, God, if Benter's good, there's guys that you could play at the expense of Fletcher Loyer, who has come in and out of lineup for this team in years. And I think to hear Fletcher be so vocal about this is a sign. Yeah, all those guys I just mentioned are defensive minded. CJ, Jakari, those guys are impact defenders. And my guess is Fletcher's feeling the heat a little bit on that. That's probably a good thing for Purdue.
Can we end this by doing one thing? I know you handpicked the flopping thing. Could I pick one thing that I would change if I'm Fletch?
Please.
I think he did a good job with it automatically, but I just want to make something very, very clear. We stay away from Clarkson and the Fife family for the rest of the season at all costs. We
Yes,
separate ourselves.
it's a good point.